Hey guys, welcome to our soul alignment session, aka SAS, for the month of September. I'm Jena Sky. If you're new to me, hi, hello, welcome. I am the founder and owner of the Shamanic Reiki School. I also own a beautiful healing arts center along the Crystal Coast of North Carolina. So every month, I like to bring these videos to you to help you in your own embodiment practices around the full moon, because the lunar time of the full moon was a time of celebration and embodiment. So, in order for me to honor the traditional lunar meanings and connections, this is my way of bringing it forward in a way that allows for everyone to be able to participate. So, what this does is help teach you energetic practices that anyone can do, because anyone and everyone can connect to that universal life force energy. You don't need to be an energy worker or a Reiki practitioner or anything like that. Anyone and everyone has the ability to connect this universal life force energy. And through these little practices and techniques that I share with you, it will help you to embody that energy more wholly and completely so that you can be more in touch with your higher self. And that to me is the main purpose and point of this practice. So before I go any further, let me explain to you a little bit more about what we do. So I weave together a little bit of the astrology, the cosmic influence that's going on around the full moon. For instance, we have this full moon in Pisces coming up. I'm recording this September of 2024. So we've got this full moon in Pisces, but it's not just a full moon, it's a super full moon. And it's not just a super full moon, it is also a lunar eclipse. So there is a lot of highly charged, intensified energy with this lunar cycle. And we are heavily going to be examining what the energy of Pisces is like. Why? Because this is going to be a time when we see ourselves resonating with that Piscean energy more closely. And if you're not a Pisces sun, moon, or rising sign yourself, or have a chart that's heavily influenced by Pisces, it might be a little harder for you to navigate the energy associated with Pisces. So I share a little bit of wisdom around what the archetypal energy of Pisces is like and what to expect cosmically with, the different things going on in our sky and our planetary systems and how that might be looking for you. So along with that, we do a little energy practice to help you be a clear and open channel for yourself to be in a higher state of consciousness, connected to your higher state of being, allowing you to step more fully into the light of your own sacred soul. So, that being said, let's get started. All right, so Pisces. If you're not familiar with Pisces energy, let me tell you a little disclaimer. Every zodiac sign has a light and shadow aspect. So I'm not picking on anybody when I share some shadow traits. Every zodiac sign has shadow traits. We're going to get a little bit into Pisces. Okay. So that Piscean energy, some of the shadow traits include not fully living in reality, right? That Piscean energy is very daydreamy, very like off into another world. A little delusional, they fill their heads with these illusions, seeing things in a way that they want to see them, perhaps more of their daydream version of what they wish things to be, and not really the reality of how things are. And that can be very problematic, of course. Like if you're not really grounded in the reality of things and you're like living from this delusional place, well, I'm sure we all can understand how that would really mess some things up. But Pisces is also known for being the sign that can get stuck in their own emotional stuff, right? So Pisces is the sign of the fish, and I often equate this to, the goldfish swimming around in circles in their little glass fish bowl, right? They stay swimming around in the same emotional funk. And if you have any Pisces that you have known in your life, like when they get stuck in that, like you can really tell they get stuck in that, right? So because Pisces energy is really strong right now, these are some things that you might be encountering that you're not familiar with, or it's not really part of your comfort zone because it's not something that you regularly experience. So if you find yourself stuck in like this emotional cycle that just keeps looping and you're like, what the heck? Like, why can't I move past this? Right? Just know like you're stuck in a little bit of that Piscean energy right now, and it's okay because it's not going to last, right? So the sign of Pisces, it's hard because, with that being said, Pisces is also the zodiac sign most prone to addiction tendencies as a way to numb that really deep, intense emotional stuckness, right? I mean, if you can just imagine just constantly reliving and feeling those harder, more difficult emotions like over and over and over, you begin to understand why that would lead to more addictive personality traits to try to get rid of that. But that's not to say that every Pisces has addiction problems. Not at all. Not at all what I'm saying. Just that you can understand how it can lead to that. So if this is something that doesn't relate to you, but perhaps you know someone or there's someone in your life that has addiction issues, this is a really good time to be reaching out to them for some additional support in their lives to help them, because this is going to be hitting people pretty rough. So this is the shadow side. Now, we don't always just experience the shadow side. Life is dualistic in nature. It's one of the universal laws of polarity. We experience the shadow and the light. That is what life is. It is what it is. So you might not be experiencing that end of the polarity, right? You might be experiencing the other end of the Piscean energy, which is that highly intuitive nature where you're just in tune and connected and like everything is flowing so great. And you're getting all these insights and downloads and feeling really creative and artistic, right? Maybe you're experiencing more visualization and you're someone that doesn't usually easily visualize things, or perhaps you're feeling more emotionally connected. So this can be some of the experiences that you have on the other end of the polarity scale, and that is totally fine too. And of course that's probably what's preferred, right? So we've got these energies of Pisces, and Pisces encapsulates all of that, right? That is the Piscean energy. It's all of that. It's not just the good, it's not just the bad, it's all of it, right? And it all serves a purpose. There's really no good or bad. So just recognizing where you might be feeling into in that scale, what you're experiencing, what you're witnessing, some other things that are really playing big into this, and why this is even more potent, right? Not only is it a super moon just means in the elliptical arc of the moon's travel around the earth, it is appearing closer, so it looks a lot larger. So we have to remember that it's not a perfect circle. Like the moon doesn't float around the earth in a perfect circle. It's elliptical. So there's going to be periods of time when it arcs over us and it looks larger because we're at a different distance, right? So it's really beautiful when we have supermoons. It's a great time for getting out the camera and taking photos, but it also intensifies and impacts, how it influences us to be a larger influence. So we see higher tides, right? Because the moon influences the tides. And I know right now, being on the Crystal Coast of North Carolina, we've got a tropical storm that is actually coming through now. We're experiencing the outer bands already. So our high tide, along with the super full moon, along with the tropical storm, we're going to see more flooding than we would if this was happening at a new moon phase, right? So things to even in our physical realm to be aware of how it influences things. So aside from that, we also have a lunar eclipse. So this is going to be what is the catalyst for shaking things up. So what you need is going to be what happens, right? We can try to skirt past some of the more difficult things, but life will life, and it'll make sure that you learn the lessons that you are meant to be learning. So If you are feeling into some kind of funk with this eclipse season, it's okay, right? Not every season is going to be your season, right? We need those harder seasons for our growth and our evolution. So don't ever like take it personal or feel like there's something wrong with you, or like allow that to feed into that ugly inner narrative of not being good enough, because it's simply not true. You face these things to help you grow, to help you evolve, to help you learn a larger scale on that polarity pole so that you can hold space for a greater capacity. And that is really the magic of the work, right? So as you're feeling into this energy, just allow yourself the grace and the compassion that you would for someone else that you love, and always remember that for yourself as well. So all right, back into that Piscean energy. So Neptune is also in Pisces, and that is where it's at home, right? Neptune is Pisces ruling planet. Neptune also represents, that visionary, the illusions, the daydreaminess, right? So we have this planet also in Pisces within just a few degrees of the full moon. So it is really influencing that Piscean energy even more to give us this really great opportunity to journey work, right? Like that to me, like this moon, I am super excited. Let's go on a journey. Let's see where it takes us. Let's visualize to our heart's content and see what is there for us, right? Like this is a powerful time to really work within that energy. So I'm super excited to tune into that. But on a personal note, like it's a time of really reflecting on on whether or not we are living to our potential, right? Do we have like this image of ourselves that is different from what you are right now? Like do you see yourself doing something different? Do you see yourself being a different way? And how is it different from how you are right now? And what is kind of keeping you from being that version of you, right? So it's a really great time of looking at, where have maybe you have visualized or daydreamed or thought of or have channeled even like this version of yourself that's a little different that you maybe wish you were more like. And what is really stopping you from stepping into that? Because if you've thought it, then it's possible for you, right? Like, so this needs to be like uncovered a little bit more. So this is where the embodiment practices can help you step into that version of yourself. So if you want to visualize, like, what would you look like if you embodied that highly intuitive, deeply feeling, um, artistic, and creative person? Like, what would you look like as that? And can you visualize what that might be like for you? And how is it different from now? Right? That begins to paint the picture. And we're working with, the lunar energies. We're working with the law of polarity and recognizing what is here, what is not here, the space in between for the evolution and the growth, and how we can step into that universal law of vibration to get to where we want to be, right? So this is how we work with the universal laws and also be working in the realm of energy. So this is the practice. All right. So now that I've talked to you a little bit about the energies, I didn't get into the rest of the cosmic stuff. I told you about Neptune. So Saturn is also in Pisces right now, and Saturn is directly opposite Mercury. Mercury's in Virgo. So our sun is in Virgo, Mercury's in Virgo. And we've got this, the talk about the polarity again. The opposite of Pisces is Virgo, right? That's why the sun is in Virgo. The full moon will be in Pisces. It's always in the opposing signs, right? So we've got this beautiful fluid Piscean water energy, and then we've got this deeply grounded Virgo energy. Virgo likes structure. It likes stability, it likes continuity, right? And then you've got Pisces. Pisces is like, I'm just gonna flow and I don't need to have structure, and I like just rolling with it and everything is fine. So, two very different energies. Not that one is good and one is bad, it's just two different energies to be aware of. So if we look at that and we recognize, oh, well, it's really hard for me to be in flow. It's really hard for me to be more fluid, more adaptable, and more tuned into that water energy, then, you might want to work more with that. Like, how can you be more fluid? How can you call that into your being? How can you embody that more? How can you allow yourself to be adaptable and flexible in the moment, right? Because that will serve you. And this is where the embodiment practices can help and work in alignment with what we've got going on cosmically. So this connection of Saturn, directly opposite Mercury, is also really challenging our ways of how we're doing things, how we perceive things, how we're communicating. Like, our typical styles might not be working very well right now. We might feel like we're being really misunderstood, maybe a little bit more chaotic than usual, right? Like, this is really stirring up, like, having to find your balance between, routine, structure, and fluidity and flow. And so this is a really great time for stepping into your own inner artist, right? So when we think about the artist is able to be in that flow state, to really call upon their intuition to guide them in these fluid type of emotionally invoking style of creativity. Yet there has to be a little structure, a little part of them that can recognize and know when enough is enough, when they need to show restraint, when they need to hone a specific skill set to help them, right? So they recognize, what specific type of art they're creating and the tools that they use for that art. And they might want to hone that skill a little more deeply or intimately, or they might want to change and find a new way to do things if that is what their creative flow suggests. So it's this really beautiful balance. And so for today's SAS session, we are calling on our inner artist to come out and play, to let us embody that even more so that we can really find that way of balance and harmony within this energy. All right, so that wraps up the energy. Let's get into our SAS session. So, our soul alignment session is a guided meditation that's going to walk you through coming into your own central column of light and opening up to those energies. So, we're talking about calling in the archetype of our inner artist, that inner creative flow. So, that's what I'm going to focus on for this guided meditation. So, take a few moments to get yourself settled and ready for this guided journey. And yeah, I'll give you a few minutes to get settled. And you'll want to first begin to tune into your breath and close the eyes, allowing yourself to breathe more deeply and fully into the body. And as you breathe more deeply, allow yourself to recognize if there's any areas where the breath gets stuck as you try to bring it deep into the belly, into the bowl of the pelvis, even if you can breathe that deeply. Can you fill up the whole bowl of the pelvis with your inhalation and exhale fully and completely? Sometimes even just deepening the breath down like that can just feel so good in the body. And as you allow yourself a couple of these deep cleansing breaths that begin to take you inward, allow yourself to follow your breath into the body, following it all the way down as it enters into the body, feeling into that central column of light within that rests just in front of your spine, that extends from the tailbone all the way up through the neck and into the crown of the skull. Allowing yourself to feel into this central column of light, this Sushumna channel, that place that houses your chakra system. And as you become aware and more in tune with that central column of light, you might feel yourself adjusting, sitting up taller, feeling the length of that in front of the spine. It might entice you to open up your posture a little more and just allow for that to be. Releasing any judgment or criticism of yourself and just allowing yourself to be the witness to this experience. As you allow yourself to continue to feel into that energetic channel of light within you that extends from the head down to the tailbone, we're going to send that energy down into the earth beneath you. Begin to see this as a cord of light that extends beneath you down into Mother Earth herself, into this glowing orb of energy within the earth beneath you. That is your Earth Star chakra. And this Earth Star chakra is an energy center that connects you into Mother Earth herself. It is the center that helps to transmute the energy from your energy body. It's your natural energetic filtration system. So as you connect and send that energy down, it is naturally being filtered and transmuted through Mother Earth, through your Earth Star chakra. And that energy begins to flow back up into your central column of light. And it's this deep, beautiful burgundy red energy that is nurturing and nourishing to your energy centers as it brings this energy up through the central column of light, nurturing and nourishing each one of your chakras as it continues to rise up that central column of light all the way up until it reaches the head to the crown chakra. And as it fills your body with this deeply nourishing, comforting, burgundy red energy, you might find yourself feeling held and supported a little more, allowing you to surrender a little bit more deeply into this meditation. And we begin to shift the focus to the crown of the head now, extending a cord of light out of the crown of the head and up into this luminous white light orb of energy about a foot above you. That is your soul star chakra. So as you visualize this cord of light extending up to the soul star chakra, so reaching for your higher self, your soul self, your sacred self. And as it plugs into this luminous white light energy, you feel that white light energy begin to pour down into the crown, and it is purifying and it is elevating and vibrational frequency. So you feel this purification yet lightness as this luminous white light pours down into the crown and the third eye, all the way down that central column of light through the throat and the heart, as it purifies and amplifies your energetic frequency from within. It travels down the entire length of your central column of light, all the way down to your tailbone, to that root chakra. And as it fills your body with that luminous white light energy, you begin to send it down that cord of energy down into Mother Earth, into your Earth Star chakra, connecting this luminous white light energy of your higher self, your most purest divine self, down into your Earth Star chakra. And as these energies connect, it can feel quite expansive as now both energies are flowing, creating that cycle of energy between the polarities of the above and the below within you. And just allow yourself to feel this energy flowing, this energy from Mother Earth as it rises up within you, nurturing and nourishing, offering comfort and support. And these energies from your soul star from above that offers this luminous white light that purifies and amplifies your energetic vibration, helping you to elevate to a different frequency that is more connected to your highest self. And as you allow these energies to flow, to heal and nurture and nourish in all the ways that you need, it naturally releases any blockages, any stagnant energies within your body. We now begin to focus on that archetypal energy of the artist and like the energy of co-creation, right? That energy that allows you to be the weaver and the dreamer of all the things that you would like, that visionary, that person that can operate outside of the box, that is highly intuitive and connected, and yet shows the refinement of knowing how to apply structure, how to apply restriction when needed, how to really navigate the depths of flowing freedom and balanced structure. And as you call in that energy, how does it feel? How does it look to you? If you were to envision yourself holding that energy, being that person that can navigate the depths of intuition and beautiful flow, and yet still apply structure and stability into what you do, how would you look? What might be different? Mm. Allowing yourself a moment to just connect into that beautiful energy, what it feels like for you. Allowing this to be a personal experience for yourself. What does that energy embody for you? And how can you recognize that it is already within you? How can you own it a little more? What can you do to be more fluid and flexible in your life? What can you do to nourish your own connection and creative flow? What can you do to bring a little more structure and balance to how you live? And if there is an energy, a symbol, a color, archetypal energy of any sort that you resonate with that connects to this, allow that to come forward. Allow yourself to connect with that a little more deeply. And taking a moment to continue breathing this in and recognizing the duality, right? This is how we evolve and grow. Our brain loves contrast and comparison. So, calling in this energy, this frequency, and allowing yourself the space to recognize what it is you already embody, what it is you're not yet embodying, and allowing for that spaciousness to be there in your recognition, in your conscious awareness, is how you begin to shift and change. This is the magic of transformation. So, as you recognize this, allowing yourself to see what it is you need to embody a little more fully and wholly to really step into this energy, right? Recognizing the polarity that exists within you. And how can you come into union with this energy as you see it as in its highest vibration, while also knowing that this image, this understanding, this concept and perception is only part, right? It's only a piece. And this will continue to evolve and change and grow as more duality becomes into your awareness, right? It is the practice of becoming, right? You recognize at the point that you're at now, but as you step into more fuller embodiment, you're going to open up another realm of conscious awareness of other things that can also be embodied within this energy. And this is part of the process. So, even in this practice, we are simultaneously experiencing this being fluid and in flow with the structure of a practice. We are experiencing openness and intuitiveness while also following the structure of the universal laws. And allowing yourself to take that in deeper, to plant whatever seeds need to be planted for your own evolution and growth. Allowing yourself to recognize what it is that you are ready to celebrate within yourself, the recognitions that possibly you've had, or even just the recognitions of things that you are stepping into bodying more now that it's in your awareness. And how can you celebrate you in this energy? How can you own this energy a little bit more within yourself? And with a couple of deep breaths, recognizing we're coming to a close of this practice, taking 3 deep breaths, really taking in everything that you're feeling and experiencing. And knowing that it is always there, you're always connected to these energies. And begin to call in those cords of light, the cord of light that is connected from the crown up to the soul star and beyond, that channel of energy that is connected to the above, bringing it back down, seeing that cord of energy coming back down into the crown of the head, and bringing your awareness to your root chakra and to the cord of energy that is down into the earth, anchoring you down into the here and now, as it helps to lower you back into this frequency of being earthbound here and feeling into that cord of energy down to the earth star and seeing that cord of energy coming back up into the central column of light, and knowing that these energies reside and connect in your heart space. So your heart is the bridge, it is the place where these energies meet and mingle. It is your expression of the above and below here on earth. It resides here in the heart space. So bringing your awareness to spiral around here to the heart, to be centered into the heart, and feeling into those energies of embodiment of this artist archetype and what that really means for you, what it is that you are stepping into more of right now, what you're celebrating within yourself right now, what feels really good for you right now in the flow of this. And know that this energy is always here within you. It is always accessible by you. And to help bring you back to this space, repeat your name 3 times to yourself to bring your consciousness back here to this space and allow your eyes to open when you are ready. And thank you so much for joining me for this soul alignment session for September of 2024. I greatly appreciate it. Again, I am Jena Sky, and I currently have openings available for our Shamanic Reiki Apprenticeship Circle. So if you are looking to dive more deeply into your energy practice, now is a great time to sign up. Enrollment ends the end of September. So you can absolutely jump in and join me now. We have a full year together to really deep dive into shamanic Reiki mastery. So you're going to be learning everything I can give you in that year. So we'll be covering in the first 6 months, we really hone in on shamanic Reiki level 1 and 2. Whether you've taken Reiki before somewhere else or with me, we go over all of that again, as well as a deep dive into practices. So you'll be learning spiritual cleansing techniques, like creating your own Florida water, and so much more. You'll be learning about crystals and working with plants and the spirits and essences of plants, becoming a flower essence practitioner as well. Like there's so much rolled into this program. So by the time you finish this year journey, you'll have a plethora of certifications along with shamanic Reiki master certification. And you'll also be learning and tuning into so many other different modalities that will help you to figure out where your unique zone of genius is in working with energy. First and foremost, I always teach, like energy is infinite. And the way that people connect and interpret energy is always going to be different. So, my job as a teacher is not to teach you some cookie cutter style of energy work, because energy work can't be done in a cookie cutter style. I mean, it could be, but it's not going to be very good. So, what I do is teach you to develop your intuition and to trust that internal guidance and open you up to the exploration of the infinite possibility and potential that energy has, so that you are weaving and creating sessions from a place that is connected to that energy of infinite potential. That is the energy of miracles. That is the energy of such great potential and possibility that there is no cookie cutter style to that. So I teach you lots of different modalities and ways to connect and work with energy. And then I allow you to kind of navigate, like, what specifically are you called to? What is the mix of how you work with energy and people that is your zone of genius, that is really going to help propel you as an energy worker yourself, if you're choosing to do this as a profession or in your own private spiritual practice, if that's where you choose to take it. So, if you're interested in learning more, I'd love to have you at the Shamanic Reiki School, and especially in our apprenticeship circle, because this is going to be such a profound year of training, offering so much. I am so excited to share everything that I have learned over these last, I don't know, 25 plus years on this path. So, thank you so much for tuning in. If you would like more information about the apprenticeship circle, just leave me a comment below and I will get you the link for that so you can read more about it and decide whether or not if it's for you. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful full moon and take lots of pictures of this beautiful super moon. All right, guys. Bye.